Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Lovable Shelly's BL Reactions. I'm Shelly, obviously. So we finished on Love by Chance episode 2. We are going to be starting episode 3 here shortly. Now, for all those that have not done it yet, if you have seen my other reactions, you know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry, I got to do it every episode, okay? So, if you have not done it yet, please go ahead and hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell so you can be reminded of the days that I do post. Also, if you have not, if you have any other suggestions, BL suggestions for me, as long as they are translated into English and I can find them on Dramacool, YouTube, or the Viki app, please go ahead and leave those in the comment section right down there. Now, with that being said, let's get started on Love by Chance episode 3. Let's go. Can is always fucking hungry. So he just ran in with Good. He just ran into Techno and to Type. And he's like listing, begging Techno to take them out to eat. Techno agrees, obviously, because it's Techno and he's a big old softie, whether he'll admit it or not. And then freaking Can starts listing all these foods off that he wants to have. He's like, should we get this? Should we get this? Should we get this? Like, all these foods he lists off, and then he mentions one, and Techno's like, well, at least that's the cheaper out of everything that you mentioned. I can't with these boys. This is when Can sees Tin again, and he's like grumpy and just angry, and he has like a get the fuck away from me look on his face. And he's like, my mom said we should be optimistic, and look at me, nothing can stress me out, and blah, blah, blah. But he said that Tin looks like he knows tomorrow is doomsday. It's like, dude, just chill. He's like, that guy looks like tomorrow is doomsday, and he should, we can all choose how we live our life, and he should be smiling. Poor Can. Poor fucking Can. He, doesn't understand why everybody's not happy all the time, and why it's, why everyone sees the world in black and white when his world is all sunshine and rainbows. And now Technic is once again, pimping out his brother for some girl's phone number. Because, Klenga, I think that's how you say his name. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm apologizing now. I'm so sorry. Anyway, basically he was like, call him. Basically call your brother. And Technic is like, no, I'm not gonna call him. And then, of course, Klenga is like, you want Nim's number, right? If you want her number, you know what you gotta do. So now Technic is calling his brother to see where he's at and what time he's going to be home at, just for a girl's phone number. I love how Techno is like, my brother checks on me more than my own parents do, my own mom does. And Type is like, well, he could be telling somebody. Technically he is. And Techno's like, who? Not my parents, because, I went home the next morning and they said nothing. They didn't even call me, so Techno is like, my brother's not doing that. My brother's just concerned about me, blah, blah, blah. Poor Techno. And then Good says, slowly, maybe Technic wants to have, is thinking with, or is in love with Techno, And Techno's like, stop thinking with your head or something like that. And poor Ken is like, what do you mean? And then he looks down, he goes, ew, gross, I'm not hungry anymore. It's the funniest scene. So in this scene, and I fucking love this part because of course it has my saint in it, my baby. Oh, he's so pretty. Anyway, it has Saint and it has Pete and A in it, and A is picking Pete up, and Pete's kind of like across the street by the walk path, but it's kind of dark where he's at, and A's like, wait somewhere where there's more light. Like, this is a bad, like, being concerned. And he meets A's friends. And of course, Sammy is like trying to hit on fucking Pete. And everyone's calling her shameless and like all this stuff. But then the waitress comes over and is like with their food. And basically is like rubbing all up on Pete like this and stuff and just all that. And Sammy's character goes, you guys called me bad. I'm nowhere near as bad as that. Like, it's great. Okay, so her name is Ping in this, and I fucking adore her because she just like touched Pete's arm and she goes, why are you so handsome? Do you have a girlfriend yet? Because I'm single and completely available. And I'm just like, no, girl, don't. I just love Sammy in general because she is always so funny in the roles that she plays, and I fucking adore her so much. I loved her in this. I loved her in the Until We Meet Again series, and everything I've seen her in, I fucking adore her. I just adore her to death. But her name is Ping in this. Fucking love her. She's adorable. She cracks me up. Like, she's definitely one of the comedy, like, the comic relief people, but she's such a goddess queen. Like, you will hear me say that a lot about her because it's fucking Sammy and I love her to pieces. So, yeah. Okay, this is where I get confused because Pon called her Ping and A calls her Bo. I prefer Bo, so we are going to be calling Sammy's character Bo. So I fucking adore her. Once again, I love her. I love the older lady who was taking their order because she's like, because A ordered for Pete. And of course, Pon being Pon was like, oh, you're ordering for him. How sweet. And the lady kind of like slams her fist or something on the table. And she goes, if you three don't order, you can leave. I'm very busy. So it's like, they had to order real quick. And poor Bo was like, what do I order? Guys, help me. And then she just looks at her friend and she goes, I'll have the same as him. Just to like get the lady. And everyone's like, why is the lady so angry? Why is she so mean? Like, okay, that's why I was getting confused. So Ping is their male friend. Bo is obviously Sammy. And then you have Pond, who's just a nosy, stinking pervert who always wants to knows everybody's information. And then you have Pete and you have A. I'm sorry, I love it. So Pete is sweating and Bao grabs her handkerchief and tries to like wipe his face. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm really okay. And of course, A just kind of wipes his face. Wipes the sweat off of Pete's face with his bare hands. Like, nope. There you go. It's done. I'm Google, man. You can ask me anything. Take your hand away and you're sitting too close. Don't touch him. He's dirty. I love that A thinks he's annoying Pete. I love that A thinks that he's annoying Pete, and Pete thinks that he's annoying A. And they're like, oh, so we just thought we were annoying each other when we're really not. And once again, I do have 3 dogs, so if you do hear them barking, I do apologize for that as well, because they do tend to bark. Even at now 2 o'clock in the morning. Pete is so cute. He's driving in his car and he's just like, can you die from feeling good because of someone? Like, it's so cute. And he gets the biggest grin on his face. And of course, because it's, you know, look at that grin on his face. Look at it. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah. There we go. And A smiled too. I can't. Look at. Look. Look at. Oh, they're so cute. I can't. And then you just have Pete remembering some of their former encounters. They're both smiling so big, I can't. And now A is starting to remember some of the encounters too. I think this is when A is slowly starting to realize that he has feelings beyond friendship for Pete, but he's still not willing to admit it. And A is at home visiting his family. So A is at home visiting his family, and A mentions that he found someone in the college that he can, like, with softer cheeks than his niece, and he mentions it to his niece, and how he can pinch their cheeks and how he likes to do that, and hold their cheeks and stuff. And then he tells his niece, I miss my friend Pete, should we call him? And he calls Pete, and of course his little niece, being his little niece and being a child, is like greets Pete and then tells Pete, A misses you very much. And A's like, when did I say that? And she goes, right before we called him. Gotta love the niece. I love it because A's family is like, wait, you found somebody who lets you kiss their cheeks and, like, touch their face that easily? Like, who is this person? And he's like, oh, just a friend. Of course, after that, A hangs up the phone, and Pete is, like, still in bed. He hasn't even showered yet, so he doesn't, like, turn on his camera. And he's like, A misses me. He gets all kinds of giddy, because it's like, when you realize that your crush has possibly likes you back, it's like the whole world is like you're just like, you get all giddy. So this is when one of the cheerleading gays, that's what I'm going to call them, the cheerleading gays, P Money, or Money actually, but everyone calls her P Money, comes and asks Pete to join the cheerleading squad, and A thinks he's being bullied, so A kind of, like, gets up in Money's face, because he's afraid for Pete. Like, he's super overprotective, and poor A doesn't even realize the reason he's so protective of Pete is because he likes him. He just thinks it's him being concerned for a friend, and it's like, no, dude, that's not it. Like, wake up. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. And in case you're wondering, Trump is on the screen right now. And there is a scene that is going to be coming up that I do not like to watch because it really irritates the hell out of me. But for the sake of all of you beautiful people that watch this video, I'm going to watch this scene. I don't want to watch the scene. I love how, so P is now in class with Tin, and Tin's like, are you still mad at me for saying all the bad stuff I said about the Tide program kids? And Pete's like, we shouldn't talk about this. And Tin's like, fine, because I'm not going to change my mind about them anyway. Yes, she will. You totally will. And of course, Pete goes, but someday someone might change your mind. And Tin is so dead set on, no one's going to change my mind. None of these kids are going to change. Like, nothing like that. Just wait for you about to change your mind. Of course, Tom and Tar. And for the record, Kuhart plays Tar in season 1 or in this and in Love by Chance 2. Kuhart is my son. That boy is my son. I fucking adore him to pieces. I know I say that about all of them, but yeah, he's my son. Him and Fluke, who is on Until We Meet Again, are my sons. They are my children. I adore them to death. If anyone breaks their heart, I will break their kneecaps. Just saying. The other two cheer practice, the other two cheer squad people, the other two cheer squad gays, the cheer gays. I'm gonna pin that. The cheer gays. That's I love that. Anyway, they show up when Money is talking to Pete, and of course Pete is like, yeah, gotta go, bye, like, and they all start blaming each other for why he left, going, it's because he was scared of you two. We were having a normal conversation until y'all showed up, and then the other two were like, no, it's because of you. Like, it's great the way they sit there and, like, bicker because Pete left. So, Pete is trying to call A, and A doesn't pick up. So he's like, oh, I guess the engineering classes are still going on. And this is when Trump shows up. I'm going to watch this scene for all of you, but I fucking hate this scene. I fucking despise Trump so bad because of this scene. Well, he's just a bad guy in general, but this scene makes him a million times worse than anything he's done before. And why the fuck did you punch him in the stomach? Okay, so it's like pouring buckets outside now. Trump basically just kind of flung or like pushed Pete to the ground. And is like asking for money and all this stuff. And Pete's like, I'm not going to give you any. I'm not going to do that. And Trump proceeds to literally punch and kick him and beat the holy living hell out of him before he steals his phone and his watch. Sorry. I hate this scene so much. Like, I fit. Yes, I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. This is how much I love Saint in general and Pete's character, that this scene literally makes me emotional and makes me cry every time I watch it. So, like, I usually do this, and I usually am on call with my friends, and I'm usually like, tell me when it's over, because I can't watch it. But, So, he literally proceeds to... He even, like, licks his face. It's so gross. I can't. Oh. 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 I can't. So what happens is Can finds him, and all Can keeps mentioning is, or all Pete keeps mentioning is A's name from, he just keeps saying A for and A engineering. And so Can calls A, and he's like, "Did you just beat up some IC kid?" And that's when A realizes that Pete's in trouble. So A, like, bolts, like, takes off, running to get to Pete in time. I'm trying to calm myself down, people. So, Tom is talking to Tar. Right here. Here's my coup heart. That is my son. This adorable being right here is my son. I have officially, like, not officially adopted him, but yeah, he is my son. And his Instagram posts are fucking fire. Like that. That's my baby. You break his heart, I break the kneecaps. Okay, so, A takes Pete to a hotel room, and has, like confronts Pete about it. It's like, we have to call the cops and blah, blah, blah. And Pete says no, and A's like, "Oh, well, if you still love him." And Pete's like, "No, I don't love him anymore. I just don't want my mom to worry." So that gets him loving Trump gets taken care of real quick. And then Pete goes to take a shower. A then proceeds to, like, put the medication and stuff on him. And then Pete asks A to stay the night because he doesn't want to be alone. Sorry, the whole cleaning of the wounds and stuff doesn't happen until the next episode, so I'm apologizing for that. I got a little ahead of myself. A hands Pete his phone to have Pete call his mom and let her know what's going on, so his mom doesn't worry. That brings us to the end of episode 3. I'm very excited for episode 4, because episode 4 is when basically A has his sexual awakening, because he gets attracted to Pete, like sexually attracted to Pete. And that's when he starts seeing Pete in a whole other light. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit those notification bells so you can be reminded of the days of the week that I do post. Also, if you do have any other BL suggestions from either the Viki app, YouTube, or Dramacool, please let me know and leave those in the comments down below. As long as they are English subtitled, I will make sure that I watch them and get to them. I have my next 5 series already planned out right now, and then I'll take it from there. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day. Peace. Mwah. Love.